Go on, Skip Shooter over in Maryland. 727, what's happening, man?
That's a beautiful thing.
I'll show you guys what's all happening here in a minute.
I don't see how y'all do it up there in the Big Apple, though, man. Hey, Juice Man, I don't see how y'all do it up there in New York with some high taxes.
And now introducing a South Jersey production. Let it know that 1, 2, 3 is on the microphone. I'm not running some tilt, that was a bad science project. This is a wicked machine built with skill, sweat, and blood. Johnny down the street thinks he has the heat.
Alright, got a couple of YouTubers in here, a couple of Facebookers in here. Get this thing started here. Alright, here we go. We're going to do this thing. Alright, this is a system that has came and gone. I liked it when it was offered a long time ago, and I'm going to just give a little credit to some folks and where this came from. The original guy that I came across that was making this was Gatekeeper out of Georgia. And since then, Gatekeeper is no longer available. He's still around, but I don't think he's monkeying with this stuff too much these days. The other guy was down in Florida. He had passed away. I don't really know his handle and never saw his product too much, but I know that there was a guy in Florida that was making this, and he passed away. So it's been about 4 or 5 years, and no one's really came up with using a wireless remote system to turn their amplifiers on and off. Now, there's one person I'll mention, and that was Donkey Stomper. He was actually putting a single remote system in a big amplifier to turn just that amplifier on and off, and it was dedicated and delegated just to that amplifier. So the system I have, you can plug it into any amplifier, has a common source of a 1/4 inch stereo remote jack system in it. Most commonly, 99% of the guys out there are putting the same wiring that it happened years and years ago, when all from the start with the Dave made products and etc. So that said, I had came up with my version of this unit. You get 2 remotes with it. You get 2 remotes, and the way how the remotes work is you hit one button, it turns on one side. You hit the other button, it hits the other side. You hit either one twice, go back and hit it again, it'll shut it off. So let's take a look at that. So we'll turn on the first button, the on button. It turns on that little amplifier there. Now if I want to shut it off, I can cut it off. All right. Now if I want to turn on the next amplifier, just hit the off button. And it'll turn that amplifier on, or turn them both on. Now, to shut them both off, you have to manually, you can't just go to the off button. It'll shut off just that one. It's just a 2-channel remote, basically, is how it's wired up. You can change the sequence. It's a big pain in the butt. It does come with instructions. There's enough room inside. Put your finger in there and hit the smart button to program the remotes. But I've came across where I had a problem trying to clear it. So you have 2 systems in here, and you could get this all mixed up. I don't put the remotes away, but I'll be able to reuse those in a different programming on a unit that hasn't quote-unquote been programmed. So that said, in the description, this unit will sell for $189 shipped out anywhere in the United States. Alaska and Hawaii will be a bit more, about $10 more for shipping. So you're still under right about $200 for the unit. The nice side of this is you don't have to have all those long wires or that extension cord or whatever going from the front to the back of your system, unless you choose to do that. That's cool. I mean, hardwired is great. This is a wireless system. Again, 2 remotes that are wireless. I tested this out in my truck. I had no problems with it with RF at all, and I was putting about 4,000 watts with a dual hot antenna system, which really generates a lot of RF bubble inside and outside the vehicle. So I don't have any RF problems. One of the things I did add to the system, I could have went cheap and went down to a little smaller box and just put an LED light on there showing that it's activated. But I wanted to go one step farther, and I decided to put voltmeters in there, and they're fairly accurate because the one up there, up on top, is reading like 14.9 on the voltage. So they're within a tenth. See that one there is 14.9. This one here is reading 14.8. It's a tenth of a volt. You're not splitting hairs. It's not precision on the voltmeters on these, but they are RF protected. The whole unit has RF protection in it. Yeah, anybody could take and go on Amazon, eBay, or whatever and buy one of these wireless systems and put it together themselves, not put it in a fancy box. You may have RF issues or not. I don't know, but I at least offered it with 2 voltmeters, and you can monitor the voltage of what that unit's doing and what that one's using. So if you want to take and look at changing voltages around, let's take and plug in a bigger power source to this. Let's plug in another power source. There we go. Now we got 15.7, so we have our shootout system on one side and we have our stock system on the other. They are totally independent. They are not one module. There's independent modules in there, so they have no commoncy towards the voltage that's feeding the modules that's running that unit. Why do I say that, and how is that happening? Is because it is independent. Again, you have this remote jack and this remote jack. The unit itself that you plug into it supplies the voltage to take and run the entire unit. So if I simply just unplug this, boom, it's dead. There ain't nothing gonna happen. Ain't got no voltage there. That means this tip is dead. There's ground right there. There's ground. The tip is dead. I've had a problem where you guys used to plug in your wired remotes in the back end of your unit and you would get it jammed up and you would cause a short. You don't have that problem here. Even though the unit was on, I highly suggest you probably have your stuff off when you plug this stuff in. And you can go right back to running again. So I always try to tell people when you unplug stuff from your amplifier, especially remote jacks, you should on-power your amplifier. Simply take and go to your quick disconnect, take and disconnect it, and plug your stuff in. Well, if you're super lazy and you don't want to do that, and you plug one of these units in, you should not have any problems with anything shorting out. Now, that said, I highly suggest you unplug before you plug it in. Set that one off, turn this one on, turn that one off, turn that one off, turn this one off, turn that one on, turn that one on. It's all great. You can turn it on and off however you choose. You can run small driver or you can run your big unit both at the same time off of this or independently from each other. So again, it's just kind of like the old system we had, but you just don't have that wire traveling all the way across that 16, 17, 18 foot wire that you literally lose voltage in the length of the wire. Longer something is, and if the wire isn't big enough, that current can't travel. You guys will notice your fans will slow way down if you don't have big enough remote wire feeding your remote box and it's going over a long distance of wire. It just, length don't travel well sometimes with this. So the other side of that is one way you can test a unit. I can shut this off. I shut it off. See, it's off. I can still turn on my amplifier manually and I'll still be able to get a reading of what that voltage is feeding that amplifier and that supply box. And don't have to worry about burning that up because it can handle like up to 86 volts, I believe. So you shouldn't have any problems with, I don't have enough, or I have too much voltage and it's burning up the module. No, I made sure I bought the right one. So You can go up to like 86 volts DC if you want with this stuff. I probably wouldn't. I don't know what you plug that into, but anyway, you cut it. Even if you had the system plugged in and you didn't use this, and you're in the back of your truck tinkering around, and this was hanging on your keychain, let's say, in your ignition, your truck's running, and you're like, oh man, my remote box is shut off. My remote box is shut off. Oh, I got to see what volts I have. And you just turn on your unit manually, and you can read your voltage right there. So in a sense, you'll have a voltmeter at your amplifier where you're working at it at, and you might have another voltmeter up front in your vehicle. You may not. So if you don't have one, you don't want to take and string one in there, just put this box where you can see it, and you can clearly see what voltage your stuff is riding at. So this unit here is off. Let's just see. Let's just bump this amp here real quick. Let's just see. This is a little 220, 290 box. Let's just see the voltage, how it stays right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. It dips a little bit. That's what digital does. It went from 14.9, 14.8, but actually it reads 14.8 up on the other power supply. It could have been a static or whatever, but see, I am making power. I'm not just talking to the camera. I'm up here, I'm making power, I'm talking into the amplifier. There's your peaker tweaker. So, just a little 220, 290 box just to plug in for the remote system. Like I said, I ran this stuff in my truck, did not have no issues whatsoever, other than my truck drains after I on key and I have no voltage. So for me, I had to actually turn it back on to make it work in my truck, just because I know how my stuff's set up. But when I on key, all the voltage in my truck that's on my main box goes down to darn near 0, and then my voltage regulator reboots, starts up again, and starts charging again. So I don't have batteries in my truck, so it's a little tougher for me to do it. But when I was on the mall and I threw a 4,000 watt carrier, that thing didn't cut off at all. I could sit there and modulate, carry down low on carrier, 1,000 watts, and carry on up to 4,000 again RMS with a dual hot system, and didn't shut it down. So I do say that it's in good hands, and it's going to work out really, really well. So you can relays on an AC mobile. Skip shooter, you probably need to call me. I don't know if they're wired up the same. If they're wired up just like the DC amplifiers I use to turn your AC box on and off, then yeah, it would probably work. But a lot of AC builders don't use 1/4-inch remote jacks on their AC amps. They're using a multi-port plug, and I don't know the name of it. But you can give me a call. We can talk on the phone or whichever. Just PM me and I'll hit you a messenger or whatever, and we can discuss that. But for the DC guys, it's for DC stuff right now, and unless we do something with AC, it could be possible. So I'm not shooting it down. So you got my number. All right, yeah, hit me up here in about a half hour, an hour or so. I'm going to try to grab some lunch. But with that said, it's a pretty cool unit, nice and tight. I don't want to make the wires super long coming out the back of this thing, because I don't want RF issues. But at this point, they're probably, I'm thinking I'm right around 12, 13 inches or so. I could probably go up to 24 inches to be safe, and everything will work out just fine. But with that said, if you guys are interested in something like this for your mobile, and yes, I am going to put voltmeters in them. And here's the thing: if I didn't, we would save what, $10? What are these voltmeters? About $5 a piece, guys. I mean, come on. You're not going to save with $10. It's really just get the full package. If you choose to look at them, that's cool. It's just one of those things. It's how I'm going to offer it. I just think it's a nice package, and I think this is something that a lot of people could use. A lot of remotes get sold throughout the world, and a lot of people make them. They're not hard to make. This wasn't very hard to make. I just had to use my creativity to get it all packaged up and get it all together and do some RF protection. And I did do RF protection in this, so it's not just pull out of the box, hook it up, and you're ready to go. And you probably will have some problems. But either way, to each their own. Again, I didn't reinvent the wheel here. I just packaged it up a little bit differently and used it in the device how I thought it should work. And it should work just like this. You turn everything off, and then you say, hey, I want to talk to my driver. I talk to my driver. Oh, that's time to hit the big box. hit that big box and go on and get them. So there you go, guys. If you're super lazy, or if you have your equipment in another room, here's a good one for you. These wireless remotes, 430 megahertz, they can go a long ways, and there's a little antenna in there. You can stretch them out if you're too far away, but that's not the case here. Normally you guys are either in your upstairs and you got your equipment in your basement, or you got it in the closet next door in the same room. You can take and get your equipment far away from you, as long as your power supply is on to power up your equipment. So you can turn your power supply on. You can leave your amplifiers off like you normally would. And you can take and be in front of your radio, listen barefoot, and say, oh, I want to talk to that guy. I want to talk to my driver, and just hit it like that. Don't even have to get out of your chair. I used to do that for years, because I used to have my mule and my power supply in my shed back home in Beecher, Illinois, Chicago area. And the only thing I had to do on a cold winter's day is go out there and turn on my power supply. And then I came back into the house, and I went from the house and hit the button, and it went through a metal building and turned down my 12 pill or 16 pill, whichever I had in line, and I went on and talking. And when I got done talking, I'd just look at the clock and say, I'll give her about 10 minutes to cool off, and I hit the button off. I'd bump the mic and just make sure the amplifier was shut down, because you have no way of telling when it's far away from you. So there you have it. I believe this is going to be a nice product, and just get with me if y'all interested in this. So again, thanks for watching another 123 South Jersey Promoted remote system for your amplifier system. So there you have it, guys. I'm out of here. Molly's over there sleeping, and I'm hungry. So catch up to you later. Sliding to the left. God bless y'all. It's Monday. Woo! Try to get through it. Wilson, they are made to order, and are you going to have them in stock? I'm going to try. Here's the thing about that, Wilson. I got to spend my money to put it in stock. My money, put it in stock, to wait for somebody to say, I want one of these. But if you get one, I'll get you on the list, and I promise you, I'll get it out pretty daggone quick. Now, why only a dual? I can offer a single. I may offer a single, but if you bought a dual and you have one amplifier, guess what? You're a CBer and you're going to grow up. Oh, I got another amplifier. Dang, I got to get another remote box. Buy one. Just don't use one side. It has no energy going to it until you apply it. So there you have it. Dual system or a single. Any way you want to use it. There you have it. I'm sliding to the left. Take care. God bless. It's Monday. I'm gone.